of the week. In fact, in an hour it'll be Friday here. So I've been meaning to do this for a little while, and I just never got around to getting it. This is the Double Dragon and Kunio-Kun Retro Brawler bundle. I have it for the Switch, and I wanted to get it for the PS4 because, well, Double Dragon is here. And there's a bunch of other stuff that we'll look at before I actually get to the main courses here. I'm going to be playing Double Dragon and maybe a little bit of Double Dragon 2. I'm not going to touch Double Dragon 3 because I suck at it and the game is unfairly hard. Renegade is here as well. These are all Nintendo or NES versions, by the way, which is why I was interested in getting these. Super Dodgeball, also for the NES. River City Ransom, fantastic game. Crash and the Boys Street Challenge, and then there are a bunch of games here that are translated into English for the first time. Neketsu Renegade Kunio-Kun, Neketsu High School Dodgeball, Neketsu Story Downtown, Neketsu High School Dodgeball Club Soccer. I think this is kind of like Nintendo World Cup Soccer, sorta, kinda. Downtown Neketsu March Super Awesome Field Day, which I think is like a track and field kind of game. Downtown Special Kunio-Kun's historical period drama. Neketsu Hockey Slip and Slide Madness, Go Go. Neketsu New Records, A Distant Gold Medal, maybe that's the track and field one. Neketsu Fighting Legend, Kunio-Kun's Neketsu Soccer League, and Neketsu Street Basketball All Out Dunk Hero. So there are a bunch of games here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 games in total. Now I know that the first 7 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, are going to be available. They're already available individually for the Switch and for the Xbox One. I didn't even look for those. I was thinking about doing that earlier. So if you don't feel like spending the $40 for the set, you can buy these games again just for the Switch and the Switch and the Xbox One right now for, I think they're $5 each. So you could get all 7 of these for $35, or you can spend $40 on this set, which is what I did. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Double Dragon. This is a game that I like coming back to every now and again because of my, I don't want to call it a relationship, that's really what it is, my infatuation with the Wizard movie. And that's not it. I think I gotta go... There we go. This is the infamous scene, or scenes in the movie in the bus station, the first act of the movie, where Jimmy is left to play Double Dragon and winds up beating not only his brother, or finishing his brother's game, but winds up beating Haley's score as well. Gets the infamous 50,000. Now, I don't think I'm going to get to 50,000 here, but I'm certainly going to try. And this is a very clean port of the NES game. The graphics look pretty good. And there's something about NES games that, when I play them, they make me feel good when I play. Whenever I'm stressed out, or whenever there are other things going on, I need to pick me up. NES games usually do the trick. Or watching The Wizard. Which is, like I said, one of the reasons that I got this game. This is different from the arcade game. If you haven't played the arcade game before, this is different from the arcade game in that in this game you get experience points as well as regular points when you beat up enemies. And when you get to 1,000 points, you level up and you wind up learning moves as you go. So when you start, you don't have things like the jump kick, the elbow, things like that. The best way to get experience points when you're starting is to use your kick and not your punch. You get a few extra points when you use your kick. So that's what I'm doing here. And the game is easy enough in this first stage of the game where you can get away with just using kicks and not lose much health, if any at all. Double Dragon, of course, you can get this on the 3DS. I think you can play it on the Switch with the Nintendo Online, the Nintendo Entertainment System app. So there are multiple ways to play it. You can also get the NES cartridge and play it if you have an NES system at home. I think that it also is on the NES Classic, if you have that still. I actually have an unopened one up here on my bookshelf. I have not opened it. I had an NES Classic for a while, and I wound up selling it because there was such a demand for it and I wasn't playing it. And then I stumbled across another one, and now it's just kind of sitting up there. So that's pretty easy, facing a Bobo there. The first stage is pretty basic stuff. Stage 2 is where it starts to get more complicated. Enemies are a bit smarter, they're a bit stronger. There are some cheap jumps and things too. If you don't know where those are, it can make your life difficult. So we're at stage 3, so now I have the jump kick if I want to use it. Gonna get out of the way there. Boom! Ah, I thought I was gonna get him. That's usually a mistake that I will unfortunately make from time to time, is forgetting that he has the stick of dynamite. This is where I'll first use my kick. And I like to use the kick pretty much exclusively when I can, rather than using weapons. Again, because I'm trying to build up my XP. What do we got, to 12,230? It's not bad. Oh! Jerk. Now, I've played, and this was a long time ago, I probably should get back to it. I've played the Double Dragon arcade game for the channel here. I played it because it's available as part of the Arcade Archive series, and it's available for both the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. I have both versions. Double Dragon is a game that I did play when I was in high school, and I played it at the same convenience store that I played Matmania and ER Kung Fu and a couple of other games. I was never very good at the arcade game, and it was definitely a quarter muncher for me. And because I don't play games co-op all that much, it's a lot harder to play through that game solo because it doesn't adapt or scale down for when you're playing alone. It assumes that you're going to play with two players, and if you don't, it's going to punish you. So we've got our next boss character here, and this guy can be a pain in the rear end as well. So we're just going to keep mowing him down. Oh, you jerk. Oh, he ducked. That should do it. So there we go. 2 stages down. It's only taken about 4, maybe 5 minutes to do so. We're at mission 3, and this is where I struggle. And you'll see why, because we'll get there. And we're at 19,200 now, so we're not yet halfway to 50,000. No, I do not think I'm going to get to Jimmy Wood's 50,000 points, so we'll see. We'll see how close I can get. Playing this game now, a lot of it's muscle memory for me. And really where I got that muscle memory from with this particular version of the game is I got this as part of the Virtual Console for the 3DS, so I have it and I can pretty much play it wherever I want. So there will be times that I would be laying in bed and couldn't sleep, or maybe when I'm on a break from work or from class, and I would see how far I could get. And once you play the game long enough, you kind of know where things are. And while I've learned where certain enemies are, I certainly haven't adapted much in the way of, like, strategies. Like, I still get my butt kicked by this guy more than I probably should. Look at this jerk. I probably could use my jump kick, and I just don't. Love the music here. It's not as iconic as the music in the first stage of the game, but it's still pretty good. One of the other reasons it's nice to have this collection, or this bundle, is because I have Double Dragon 4 for both the Switch and for the PS4. I haven't played Double Dragon 4 for stream, because, well, not a lot of people really like it. There we go. And the game is just, it's a slog, really. It feels pointless. There's a story that you can follow, but the game goes on way too long. And it gets unfair pretty quick. One of the reasons that this game really didn't get as unfair as it could have is just because of technology limitations and too many sprites on the screen at once. Like, you're seeing 2 enemies max on the screen here, other than myself. And part of that's just what the NES could do, without having major flicker or slowdown issues. The biggest problem you'll see is right in here. Where are you guys? Here they come. When I have to deal with 2 of these guys are jerks. Oh, man. These guys are where I will start to use my jump kick more. Ugh, but it doesn't really matter. These guys will just kick my butt. Ugh. Yeah, I leveled up. I do love that about this version of the game. The whole leveling up idea is something that I really like in beat-em-ups. It gives you a reason to keep playing and to play with different, using different strategies. Yeah, I could certainly choose... Oh, alright, here we go. Now I'm dead. You could certainly choose to just blow right through the game using punches and that sucks. I suck at this part, by the way. This is usually where I'm done. The fact that I actually have 2 lives left is kind of... Oh boy, I'm dead already. Is pretty much a big deal for me. I should do a save state here, but I'm not going to do that. And you can't even kick them. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to how these fall. Ugh. Alright, here we go. And of course, with these, there's almost a sense of unfairness. Okay. No! Ugh. Dead. So now I have to start back at the beginning. Ugh. Fudge. Fart knocker. No. Fine, you want to play that game? I can play that game. Jerk. And then you start back at the beginning. Oh, dead. Well, I got to 28,000. Come on. Alright, now I gotta see if I can do this part right. I will never buy the idea that platforming should be in a beat-em-up. And yet Double Dragon does this with both the first and the second games. No! No! And that's it. There are no continues. You use your lives and you are done. You would have to restart the game. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the game select here. And we're going to go right on to Double Dragon 2. This, in my opinion, is the best of the trilogy. It certainly was for the NES versions of which this is. And you gotta play on Warrior. If you play on Beginner, you don't even get halfway through the game before you have to restart it. So, there's your story. In 19XX, violence ruled the streets of New York City after the nuclear war, even with the crime syndicates growing. People call them the Double Dragon. So you don't care about the story, do you? Alright. Let's move on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. Nice cutscenes there. There's Marion, who we thought was in trouble here. Double Dragon swore to avenge her death. Now, that's interesting, is in the arcade version, you actually get to see Marion gunned down. They take that out of this, which makes sense, of course. So the play controls here are a bit different, and the experience point system of the first game is gone. This is much more faithful to the arcade. There are 2 buttons you use, and one button is for punching or attacking to the right, and the other is punching and attacking to the left. And then if you press both buttons at the same time, you jump. But everything about this particular game just is great, from the music to the visuals. I think the visuals still look really good. I think the level of challenge is pretty fair, although we'll get to a sequence where I have to do some platforming, and I do hate that part of it. And there is a scoring system here as well, so you can play for high scores if you so desire. Now we go up a ladder, so there's a bit more verticality here. Whoops. It is very easy to kind of lose track of what buttons do what sometimes, especially if you're coming off of playing the first game. There we go. Whoa, hey! Easy with that thing, whatever you just threw at me. Jerk. I'm not letting you pick that up, dude. And then they disappear when it's time to move on. Ah, this is so good. Whoop. I'm just gonna beat you with a baton. And we have our first boss battle already. This guy's pretty interesting, and you actually do see him again in Double Dragon 4. Oh! So he does this fake disappearing act, and then he rematerializes, like he steps inside of a transporter off the Enterprise or something. Is that it? Or one more time? Nope. So you get more story sequences here. They're escaping in that chopper. You'll never make it. Go for broke. B-R-O-A-K. Okay. So here you have to be smart. You have to be able to jump across and then attack real quick. Or else that happens. Jerk. And then you climb down the pipe here. As I mentioned, there's more verticality in this game than in the prior game, which is cool, but at the same time there's a lot more risk involved because it's easier to fall to your death, and then your life bar doesn't matter. There we go. So we're up on the roof. I think this is where the helicopter comes in. And I think we're going to have some company here shortly. I think these are Lindas. I think that's what they're called. That is not good. Ooh, whap. So I am no Mike Matei. I'm not going to beat this game in one sitting. I'm probably going to get about halfway through, or wherever we get to the platforming bits, I'm going to be dead. But I just like kicking back and playing this. It's a lot of fun, at least it is to me. And I think this is a pretty good step forward for the series on the NES when it came out, too. I think the look is really good. The fact that they made the characters just a little bit smaller, but didn't sacrifice a lot of detail, I think that that was the right choice. I do miss having the experience point system here. Oop. There we go. Oh boy. These two. This reminds me a lot of Streets of Rage, where they'll sick two enemies on you as part of a boss encounter. There we go. What's interesting is you don't grab the helicopter there, even though it shows it in the next sequence here. Hold it, you'll never escape from us, and then grasp. That's the sound they actually make, for whatever reason. So the chopper escaped into the neon-filled night, so we're up to Mission 3, Battle in the Chopper, and this is where things get interesting, because that green door over there on the right opens. If you're not careful, you get sucked out, and then you're done. You lose a life, and I've already lost one because of the stupid move I made. Oop, bye! Ah, that was cool! Look at that! Didn't even mean to do that. Uh-oh. A Bobo got hair! For whatever reason, he reminds me of Danny Trejo a little bit. Whoa, jeez. Hey, stop that! No! That stinks. I'm done, though. But I only have one life left. Chopper's landing on a mysterious island, so it's time for the undersea base. Whoa, whoa! That is water down there, by the way. If you go too far down, you will fall into the water, and that is a lost life, so don't do that. Ooh. This isn't bad so far. Linda's. I did mention on Twitter that I wanted to get back to Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's been like 4 or 5 days. The weather around here has been pretty weird of late, and is going to continue to be strange. As we're expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow, and it's going to be like April 18th. We're expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow, which kind of sucks. Not that it matters, because no one can really go anywhere right now. But still, it's like, it's a month into spring. Getting snow at this rate, or at this point in the year, just is annoying. Oh, jerk! And you really can't do any jump kicks here, either. Oh, jerk. You can probably guess who that guy is patterned after. If you said Arnold Schwarzenegger, you'd be right. And we have our first platforming / timing bits in the game. This is going smashingly. So I don't know if I'm going to get around to it tonight or not. I might. I'm not streaming it, though, obviously for spoiler reasons, but also just, that's a game I just like playing for myself. My thoughts on it, without getting into spoiler territory, there are certain parts of the game that are really good for nostalgia purposes. The whole opening sequence of the game really hit the nostalgia feels hard. Jerk. I don't like some of the design decisions that were made. Ugh, dead. Nope, done. That sucks. I don't like a lot of the design decisions that were made once you get past some of the basic narrative, and they've done it to kind of stretch things out a little bit. But that being said, that's just a personal preference kind of thing. I like the way the game looks. The soundtrack is amazing. And the hack and slash style action gameplay, while I was not a fan initially, I'm okay with it now. I still prefer turn-based, but I can play the turn-based original if I want to on any system I choose. I have the original PlayStation game with the 3 discs. I have the game for all of the modern systems too, so it just depends on which way I want to play it. We'll go ahead and do a little bit of River City Ransom here. River City Ransom, of course, is a beat-em-up RPG. And we're going to keep things on Novice here. I hold your city captive and Ryan's girlfriend hostage. With my gangs of students and evil bosses, nobody can stop me now. Meet my demands or else. P.S. Alex and Ryan, if you interfere, you'll be in for the fight of your lives. Slick. Alright, you're Slick. Let's do it. So you can see the Double Dragon influence pretty much right away. It is very much a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but there's more to it than that. You get money. You can pick up weapons as you go. There are different character designs, although many are very similar looking. Barf. Now this game still has some value to it on the resale market if you're looking for the NES version of the game. And while the NES version probably is the way that you'd want to play it in terms of authenticity, playing it this way with suspend save states, I think, is a little bit more fair, because the passwords are pretty long for this game. And we were having this conversation on Twitter about whether using save states is considered cheating, and I don't think that's the case. I think that there were a lot of limitations in place because of the technology at the time. Not every game had a battery in it because lithium batteries cost extra money. So, you know, I understand games that didn't have saves built in or batteries built in. But when you're replaying these games in the 21st century, when technology is available to play them, to be able to save your place so that you don't have to worry about passwords, I think that it's fine. There really shouldn't be a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to how people play their games. So now we're in town. We can go to different shops here. You can get food if you want. Like I can get myself some coffee or tea or hot cocoa or pancakes. Now you use real world type money. It's not like gold or gil. I'll do some hot cocoa. Oh, I guess I'm going to leave. I guess I hit the wrong button. And there are different stores you can go into and buy different things. I can get myself a donut if I want. That sounds like a plan. Yeah, we're good. There are all kinds of different people in town. You can go to the sushi bar. There's a place you can learn martial arts. I think this might be it. The bookstore. And obviously, that would just drain me. I think I'm going to wait on that. Now, I never really played this game much when it was new. Or when it was more relevant, I should say. US mail, even though this doesn't take place in the US. They kind of localized it as such. I only got into it when I started collecting NES games in the late 90s when I was working for Funcoland, because the game was even somewhat valuable back then, back in the late 90s. But even then, when I was playing it, I really didn't get into it all that much. There's some aspects of the game that I don't understand, like where to go, or... oh, did he leave? He left. Or just the basic flow of the game. I'm used to the more traditional, just straight arcade style, beat them up before they beat you up and you lose your life kind of deal. Like, I guess you go in here... Oh. Man, you just threw your grass knucks at me. Like, I don't think that's how that works. Oh, that's funny. Not only will I beat you up, I will use your friend to beat you up. And I know this formula has been done to death a few times as the game became more popular. Technos, which in turn wound up becoming, or at least being part of, Arc System Works. They've really capitalized on the idea with River City Everything. River City Girls is the most recent one that I've played. And I think that's getting a patch soon. Alright, so where do I go? I don't know where I'm going. I guess I got... Oh! Can I go here? Nope. Can I go here? Nope. Okay. This is kind of what it was like when you were playing NES games back in the day. Is you didn't always have a good idea where you were going or what you were doing, and you kind of found out, whoops, kind of found out on your own, kind of felt your way around. I think here, though, I'm just going to... Oh, jeez. I'm just going to leave and go over here, get some more money, beat some more butt. I do love the groove here, playing in the background. Oh, Alex is in trouble. Oh, I am in big trouble. Am I dead? Well, I'm in trouble. Alright, I gotta see if... Oh, I have a donut. Oh! There was nothing there and it didn't help me? I gotta go back to town. I gotta power myself up here. That is not good, dude. Sure. How do we do? Punch 1 up, willpower 2 up, stamina 40 up. Max power is maxed out. Okay. Alright, I think we're good here. That's kind of the way they gotta play it. You gotta know when to go back to town, and you gotta kind of nurse your... or be careful of your energy. It's definitely a unique way to play a beat-em-up, and I can see why people like it. Ooh. These guys hit hard, though. Oh. I'm in trouble. I'm gonna be done. That's it. Alex has lost all his power. So that's a look at River City Ransom there. I think next time I stream, we'll look at some of these other games here that I'm curious about. And interesting too, if you look at the way that this is that this game is set up, it looks like an NES or SNES classic with the different title art down below. And I don't even know who the... I should probably find out who the developer is. This looks like an M2 project. What is this? Oh, that's a classical piece. Toto from Raiho came up with a frightening new plan to smash all the other schools once and for all. He He held an Olympic-style athletics competition. Okay. But of course, his plan ended in total failure. Kunio's team crushed his evil ambitions yet again. If only it hadn't been for you. Okay. Oh. So it's all classical. That's funny. Flunky. Yeah, get on with it already. Up. This is hilarious. Chiptune classical. Alright, let's do practice. Hammer throw golf? How does this work? Hammer throwing and golfing. What do you have to do? What do you do? Oh, interesting. Oh man, I should play track and field. Oops, fell on my butt. Oops. $623 yards? There we go. That's a good one. So you just have to throw it as many yards as you possibly can. Okay. That's one stream I do want to do at some point in the not too distant future, is I do have track and field available. I think I might have done it on this channel before, I don't remember. But that's one of my favorite arcade... Yeah, it's an OR. One of my favorite arcade games of all time. And definitely an arcade game that I played a lot as a kid. Because I was decent at it, I could make one token last quite a while. I'm in the sand. That's interesting. I kind of like that. No, we're not going to practice again now. Huh, I'll have to try this again at some point down the road. But anyway, that's a look, a very quick look at the Double Dragon Kunio-Kun and Kunio-Kun Retro Brawler bundle. It is $40. It's available on the PlayStation Store. It's also available for the Switch as well. And as I mentioned, both on the Switch and on the Xbox One, you can buy Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, Renegade, Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, and Crash and the Boys Street Challenge for $4.99 a piece. If you do wind up buying all of the games, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 times 5 is 35. You might as well spend the extra $5 if you're on the PS4 or the Switch and just get the whole set, because there's a lot here to process and to play. And there's also a little bit of information on each game as well. That looks like a fighting game there. And that looks like, almost looks like another River City Ransom game in a different setting. That's 1991. Here's the hockey game. That's one I want to try down the road too. That's 92. there's so many of these. That is definitely Nintendo World Cup right there, which is not a bad thing. Really wish that Super Spike Volleyball was here, but what am I going to do? Street Basketball? Interesting. There's Double Dragon. June 88. So 32 years ago. Oh. Anyway. And there are different versions, by the way, too. I don't really understand what the different versions mean. There's like the quality up. Whoops. There's the quality up, and then the original. I don't know whether that's graphics or in terms of gameplay. I'm not sure. What is this? Oh, that's a Renegade sequel. Okay. And that's a Super Dodgeball remake, it looks like. So, alright. So I won't keep rambling on here. I'll probably wrap up the stream for now. It's been about 40 minutes or so. A little bit shorter than usual. This will be the only stream this week, as we're heading into the weekend. Next Wednesday is my birthday, so I probably will be on stream then, provided the weather cooperates, next Wednesday night. And possibly next Monday night as well. I gotta see what the how things look in terms of my schedule. So probably gonna be at least Wednesday night, if not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll kind of see how things look. In the meantime, take care of yourselves through this ordeal wherever you are, kind of locked up at home. I wish all of you the best of health, and take good care. We'll do this again soon. See ya.